Feeder cattle prices have improved across the southern Great Plains, and we have our good friend Derrell Peel to talk to us about it. Derrell, what's causing that to look so good?
Well, I think, there's several things going on in the feeder market. It's seasonally, it's a time of year when we expect to see peaks. In recent years, the peak in feeder cattle prices generally has been in the middle of the summer. I think part of it is the fact that we are looking at a significantly improved corn crop. As we move into the fall and new crop corn, we're looking for sharply lower corn prices. That gets bid back into feeder cattle prices. But I think the primary driver going forward will just be the fact that in the second half of the year, we look for feeder cattle supplies to be significantly tighter than they were in the first half of the year. That's clearly going to pressure these prices up as much as the market will support.
Okay, and talking about peaks, this is usually a time of year where there's peaks in the beef prices. People are out grilling and everything, really enjoying the summer. Are we seeing that this year?
Relative to the strength we've seen in feeder prices, it's a little different story when you look at both box beef and fed cattle prices. Fed cattle prices have moved mostly sideways now for several weeks. Not improving, but not falling off as well. We're kind of looking for a summer low there. The box beef market has actually dropped a little bit in recent weeks. We're past Memorial Day and 4th of July now, two of the biggest grilling weekends, and they were sort of okay holidays, but there were some weather issues around the country that sort of limited demand. We've got to get through the summer doldrums now here, the really hot part of the summer, and then see where beef demand is this fall. We're gonna keep a close eye on that beef demand situation. It's going to be very important as supplies, beef production will be sharply lower in the fall of the year, and that's going to pressure prices even more.
And kind of switching gears a little bit, Derrell, you recently went to Mexico and looked at the cattle market, and you wrote about that in your newsletter. What did you write about?
Well, Mexico continues to be a very dynamic market, and I think there's a couple things. Beef imports in the U.S. from Mexico have risen sharply in the last 4 years. Mexico is now our number 4 source of beef imports.
Really?
And we've been watching sort of for how much potential was there in that market. The most recent official monthly trade data showed those beef imports from Mexico down slightly for the first time in about 4 years. So that's one question, is sort of, have we sort of topped that market, or is it really a matter of supplies being limited in Mexico? And I think that's the other side of this, is that beef production in Mexico is being squeezed. They have liquidated significant numbers of cattle. Last year we got the second highest level of cattle imports from Mexico we've ever had, almost 1.5 million head.
Wow.
We're down over 400,000 head for the year to date, and we're going to end up this year getting barely more than half of what we got last year. They don't have the cattle, they're not sending as many up here, they're not able to maintain their beef production in Mexico, and that also impacts our exports of beef to Mexico. But perhaps more importantly in the short run here is that it's going to be one more reason why feeder supplies will continue to get tighter in the U.S. We won't have those Mexican cattle available as we go through the second half of the year.
Wow, it's going to be interesting summer, won't it? Derrell Peel, Livestock Marketing Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.